Hello everyone and welcome to a money making guide. Alright, so for this money making guide, you will need coins. Now the amount of coins you need won't have to be a substantial amount. You could do this with 100k or less. I have a mil in my inventory, but again, you don't need it. But that is a requirement. Another requirement is debating on how far you are into the recipe for disaster quest line. Having it fully completed will give you the highest profit per hour. Having it not fully completed will give you less profit, but you can still do it with only some subquests complete. The location for this money making guide will be in Lumbridge, so you could just home teleport to Lumbridge and you have to go into the castle. Once you're in the castle, you come into the kitchen and go down the trap door. For some reason, you can't go down in that corner. Odd. Once you come down, just go over here and you will see there's a bank. Go to the bank chest and click buy food. Once you click that, you'll see a bunch of items come up in this screen. Now, some of them are better than others, but a lot of things in here will profit you. So for instance, if I go over here and I click on value for grapes, there's 10 in quantity and they're 1 coin each. So let's just say we buy 10 of them. That costs us 10 GP, okay? Value is still 1 coin, even though there's 0, but obviously, but that's, they don't raise, they don't raise in price, so they stay at 1 GP. So we spent 10 GP on these, and we ended up turning that into 1500 GP. So as you can see, that is a big increase. And what makes this even better is because this is a bank right here as well. So you have to completely remember is you don't have to actually worry about a full inventory and then banking, because you can just open it up and bank your items. So if we go back to buy food, you'll also see that cooking apples are 1 GP, tomatoes are 5. Like you can see everything here, and it's pretty relatively cheap. You do have to remember sometimes the GE price might not be what it's worth. Now, okay, for instance, let's buy a cooking apple. So it costs 1 GP to buy that. And if I go into here, you can sell it for 206, which does make it better than grapes. However, because there's only a certain amount per world and they take a while to respawn, you may as well buy both. And it's still 1 GP, it doesn't raise. So let's just go into whatever this tab, throw in some of your stuff. I already must have had some of those. And you know, you can just bank it that quickly. You can just buy the rest of the cooking apples and just as easily do that. You know, like I said, it does take a while for them to respawn. Alright, the pot of flour and the pizza base are also good, though the pizza base there's only 1 in a world, so you're not going to be able to do that too often, and that's probably why it's very good. But pot of flour, as you can see, it's 13 GP each, and they cost 137 each, so you can just make 1300 GP just like that. So, you know, in this inventory alone, we already have, oh, and this one's 200 GP as well. So this inventory alone, we have some of the cheaper stuff, and we already have 3200 GP. But like I said, you know, that's with obviously all the cooking apples I already had there and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. So pretty much you want to stick to a lot of the cooking apples, pizza base, pot of flour, and the grapes, which I believe I have grapes right here, which are the exact quantity of the 10 that we needed. This tab here. So I'm going to do a little test for a bit and spend a bit of money and see what we can make in said amount of time. Okay, so as you guys can see, I spent roughly 5,000 GP, and now it took me 10 minutes to do this. And here's the thing. I only got what I got here, but you have to remember that was just how I did it. Obviously, you could technically do it faster, and like sometimes I didn't even buy this in certain worlds, and I probably should have. But other than the fact that these aren't as many as there is, like these are pretty accurate, but like it depends. You can always buy more per world and whatnot, like, or not per world, but like per 10 minutes. If you're a little faster, I guess, at the whole banking and buying. I had a couple misclicks here and there. So in 10 minutes, I spent 5K and I ended up with all of these. So 10 minutes made me In grapes alone, 43K. In cooking apples, 170K. Pizza bases, 4K, but again, they could be way more than that, because I didn't buy a lot. And 30K in pot of flour, which is 250K, so 245,000 GP profit in 10 minutes, which equals 1.4 million GP per hour. And like I said, you could technically get more than that. And don't even worry about like worlds being sold out, because yeah, this world is because I just bought it. But other than all, I didn't buy all the cooking apples because the time ran out. But don't worry about like worlds being sold out, because for the most part they aren't, because a lot of people don't either know about this or don't do it, which I don't know why. And also JX added a bunch of worlds today because of the mobile release, which is crazy. They added like a ton of worlds, so you shouldn't really have too much of a problem. Now it doesn't work in free to play, so it's not a free to play money making method, so don't worry about free to play worlds. But if you go to a random world, I just bought from this world, so that doesn't matter. Like, let's go to a world I didn't buy from. Let's just go to like 305 is a good example. Maybe I didn't go this low, and then you just go buy food and everything's there. Obviously there's a few cooking apples taken, but again, the grapes, the pot of flour, and the pizza base are the main ones you really want to buy. And you just go buy 10, buy 10, buy 10, and then, well, you buy as many as you can of those, and then you just bank them, because those aren't the important ones. But like per world, with just these, you're looking at making like, how much am I looking at making? Per world, you're looking at making around 3K GP, which is really crazy to think about, because so it just depends on how fast you can really hop. That's the thing. And don't worry about getting logged out either. In this whole 10 minutes it took me to make this, I didn't get login screened once, so that's pretty nice. Alright guys, so that is the money making guide. That will be 1.4 million GP per hour. I hope it helps out as many people as possible, and I hope you guys can go and make as much GP as you can. Again, this does require some completion of RFD, though it is dependent on how far you are as to what will be in the chest. But regardless, it is still worth it for anyone who has access. So go ahead, buy those items that I had, and go and make 1.4 mil per hour. Peace.